Good afternoon, Speed Gaming. Welcome to some more Link's Past Randomizer tournament action. Today we have Corride versus ObscureLifeForm. Corride, the 22 seed, versus Obscure, the 43 seed. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Willard J. Bradley. How you doing, Willard?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. I'm ready for an exciting game one between these two, especially because we got that fish sprite back again, and I'm excited.
Gotta love the fish sprite.
It's too good. Yeah, this is their
Alright.
first match between these two. Of the bracket stage, there's also one of the there's like 3 pairings left that actually haven't raced at all in this round, and of course we have 2 weeks to complete that, but we have until the end of this week, so you know, not really waiting until the last second, but we're getting there.
Yeah, that fish sprite is so funny.
It's fantastic.
All right, we do have standard hard mode. What do you think we're gonna get at the Uncle?
Bombs?
Bombs isn't terrible.
Bombs
at least should pretty much guarantee you that you get to check the items in the back. We're about to find out.
Oh, I was gonna say Burna, but I said bombs instead because I was being nice.
Yeah, that's the worst item.
All right, let's see. So, of course, we are going to be needing some bombs for the back of escape. Hopefully, they're either going to show up in a chest or off of one of the enemies in Hyrule Castle. The problem is, though, with Burna, farming enemy kills is not very convenient.
It's actually pretty horrible, in fact. Unless they find something else that's better on the way, which can happen. Even if we are bomb prize packs, might not actually get to the actual bombs. Unless it's the bomb prize pack, and then, just get that first one.
Yeah. Yeah, with Burna, I mean, like, each of these green guards takes, I think, 2 hits with Burna, and there's a bit of a charge up with using Burna, and it's just not a good. It's just not a good item.
Get the key right away.
Yeah, I'm already kind of sensing the possibility that we're not going to be seeing any bombs, at least from any enemies on the way out. But, if you can get to the point where you get to the first part of the sewers where there's like a big group of rats up in the corner, you can usually get all of them with like one single spin of Burna and that.
We haven't even seen a drop yet, so we don't even know what these prize packs are.
True. Still no drop.
Still no drops. Oh, there's an arrow drop. Okay, so the guards have nothing. Flute's nice. It doesn't help us with escape, but it's nice to be able to activate that flute on your first trip into Kakariko.
Yeah, and that's going to open up some early routing options. People tend to like to go for the one-offs like Agnes Cave or Ice Rock Cave, or the invert of that is, I can easily get to that because I have the flute, so I'll skip them for now.
Yep,
I'm just kind of focused on density.
It was a little unfortunate, Corride, missing that bottle throw. Had to use a little extra magic there. Just the map in Zelda Cell means everything else will be an item.
Yeah, we already got the 2 out of here, so...
Imagine you're Princess Zelda and this fish comes to rescue you.
At this point, you take what you can get, I'd say.
I suppose you do.
All right, magical fish, please guide me out of this horrible place. Please. It's so great. Love it. Little hop. It's got a little hop. So, we haven't seen... We haven't seen much of anything yet. Haven't seen what our dungeons in the Light World are going to contain. At least dungeon prize-wise. We have a flute that does get us to some out-of-the-way checks, but also logically gets us up to Death Mountain, which only opens up 1 item currently, but, it's a nice one to have as soon as we get some more stuff like a hookshot or a mirror. These runners are probably hoping for a sword soon. We've seen a lot of seeds, a lot of races come down to not always sword go mode, but we've seen a lot of like sword differences or just, Master Sword Ganons.
Yeah, and
a good time.
Yeah, it doesn't really change for it being hard mode because it's the 4th sword. You don't get the gold sword. So, you know, the gold versus tempered is the only thing that would change. But Master Sword versus tempered, or even just everybody being on Master Sword, if that's what the seed does, it's not going to be any different. The mail upgrade is, in my opinion, the most significant thing from hard mode, since you're going to be on green mail the entire time. You'll be capped out at 14 hearts, red shield, no silver arrows. Hey, there's one of our shields.
Yeah, the not having silvers, I think, has played a very interesting part in this for, you know, a lot longer Ganon fights.
Yeah.
I feel like anyone that's climbing up GT was just a Master Sword at this point. It's like, I am checking all these chests, saying, just give me that Tempered Sword bailout, please.
Looks like Obscure's not even going to check the Rat prize pack. Looks like Corride as well.
Yeah, I did see Corride go out of their way to grab a little extra magic. But, yeah, this is, Okay, gonna check there. There's a small magic. If that was its actual, like, first drop, then there would be a single bomb somewhere late in that prize pack, but
yeah, there's no
not enough resources to get that.
Yeah, there's no way you can get that far in the prize pack at this point.
Well, at least fortunately for both runners, neither of them are getting the items in the back, so there's not going to be any early game, you know, advantage. Now the question is, where are we off to now? We have exactly 50 rupees if we want to go buy some bombs, but I assume we're heading to Kakariko regardless to go activate that flute and check out all the goodies that's around there.
Yeah, you hope you don't have to buy bombs, of course, but might see the runners go to like the back of tavern to see if there are bombs there first and then work their way up. There will be the 50 rupees that Kakariko basically gives you for free, mostly behind bombs.
Yeah,
you see Corride's gonna check the tree pull and the bush crab.
To get a look at the Light World dungeons, I believe there was a Pyramid Fairy Crystal over at Eastern Palace. There's a pendant at... Ooh, hold on. There's 8 bombs on that bush crab. That's real good. A pendant over at Desert, and I believe just a regular crystal up at Tower of Hera, so...
Was that a cane?
That looked like a cane of Samaria.
It looked like a cane sitting there on the lumberjack.
All right. Here's the interesting thing. What if Meyer and T-Rock are both pendants?
Then I don't think you go get that, and you just hope that the big key in GT is not on the right side.
I am
intrigued. Wow.
I want to know what our dungeons are in the Dark World. Go to the Dark World. Just go straight to Death Mountain, go through the portal. I just want to know.
Yep,
just
there you go.
Skip right to that.
I mean, they can. No, yeah, because they have the flute. They could do it. They could do it.
Let's see if Obscure is going to get bailed out with some bombs here in the back of Kakariko. Well, yep, there they are.
Yep, there's that bailout. Oh, and 2 of them. And a powder. Powder's a nice... It's my favorite safety. It's a nice item to have. If you're going to have a fetch quest, you might as well have the one that actually has uses outside of the actual item you're getting.
Alright, what else are we going to find here in Kakariko? I mean, powder is good, as you state, but it doesn't really do anything for us right now.
It does absolutely nothing for us right now, because without a hammer, we can't actually check the magic bat.
Look for a sword or a bow, hookshot. Hookshot would be interesting, getting up to like East Death Mountain already. We've got 20 bucks, we got a heart container, we've got another 20 smackers, and a third 20 smackers. It was almost vanilla. We were so close. I remember as a kid, I was never able to get all of those chests.
In one, yeah, you have to reset the room, remove the
I'd get
block,
like 3... Yeah. Well, I don't remember. Was it one of those things where if you left and came back, like the chest would be open and you wouldn't be able to get it?
No, you could come back, but I think you might have had to leave the entire building. I honestly don't remember.
Well, yeah, I would assume so.
And more bombs.
Off the bottom ender. And a flute activation. Still nothing here in Kakariko.
That hook shot you talked about would be a really nice find. If I found a hook shot in this situation, probably would just go straight to the mountain.
Yeah, I might head up there real quick. And the only downside about that is, you know, if hammer is already available somewhere, then you're gonna end up isolating Tower of Hera. And with Herapod existing, you know, you'd be able to do Hera if you were up there with the hammer, regardless of a lack of fire source. So
yeah, that's correct.
But it would be tempting to head right on up there with that hook shot. But first, we got to find it. All we're finding now is money.
Yeah, that green 20 at this point will represent a blue mail upgrade because we haven't maxed anything else out. One last check here.
Okay.
Oh, hey, a sword.
That is breath of fresh air. We actually have a good weapon now.
I mean, debatable whether fire sword is really a good weapon, but it is definitely it's definitely better than anything else we have.
Compared to what we had.
Oh,
the thing is,
sure.
it's a good weapon because it leads to a better weapon.
Yeah.
Now, if this was old school, back before progressive swords, and you got a fire sword, you'd be like, "Nah, man, this could have been a gold sword right now. Come on."
It looks like we had arrows on the library. Let's see if we flute right away or go back for the... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, classic dodging of the duck because we do want... Well, we don't want that item. Nobody
wants the book.
But you can't leave it behind.
Book-dependent desert with no glove, no fire source, no boots.
I mean...
I would assume that Obscure gets this and heads straight to see what's on Desert Ledge, though, because that's instant information.
Yeah, with that flute, that makes a lot of sense. And it kind of it routes you over to Agina, makes Agina a much freer check. Go right doing the same thing. I mean, even if they don't do it right away, both runners, I expect, will do it either before or right after South Shore checks. Early books just seem to lead to something in Desert.
How about a herpes?
Now
it's like
not the exciting item I was hoping for.
Yeah, I would not be enticed to enter Pendant Desert Palace at this time without the means to... I mean, it could line up that you could just get the key right away from the middle chest and then get both items on the right side, and there's your Moon Pearl and Glove, but chances of that are pretty slim. Yeah,
I mean, the middle chest could just be the item that we need for progression, but I can certainly see, ObscureLifeForm save and quitting out of Agina's cave. That makes a lot of sense. He's just a flute away from Desert when the time comes to check that middle chest to see if it's anything. And maybe by the time he gets back to that, maybe he has a glove or a fire source. Although it is a pendant, so we don't really want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that does bring up another point. With that book in hand, we could go check what's on the pedestal. Oh, there's a bow underwater here at the dam, which is going to make going to this Eastern Palace area a little bit better for Corride, assuming, depending on if Obscure actually goes all the way into Eastern, which would be very unfortunate for them.
Yeah, he may not. He may just do the checks back here.
The only problem about that is, hoping to find a glove so that you don't have to go all the way around through this section to get to Eastern.
Well, I guess we don't get to find the green pendant information.
Nope. It's okay, that's what map's here for.
Ooh, a nice mirror, though. And a Master Sword. So 3 really good items. Well, 2 really good items, and a heart container at this point is not terrible either.
What do we got over in Mini Moldorn Cave, though? Heart piece. Flippers.
Flippers. With no money.
Okay, well, this is going to work out for Obscure. Going to get that bow without making that... The thing I was worried about with the Eastern... With that check was that, to get into Eastern is inconvenient without a glove. So it would... Then, it would have saved more time to just go ahead and head into Eastern at that point from Sahasrara's hut. But... Good thing Obscure didn't, because that would have been the wrong play. As far as we know.
Let's see if either one of them tries to do Eastern. I could see it. They're should be able to do this without any kind of fire source. The room with the Igors is a pain.
I'd say completing Eastern is pretty trivial right now at this point, especially with a Master Sword in hand.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
So we have a mirror now. We can get up to Tower of Hera, or get on. There could be an item on Spectacle Rock. We also can check Ether Tablet now with that Master Sword.
That might be what that book was for. Could be that Ether Tablet play.
But the flippers do also open up all the Lake Hylia checks. Zora. We are very far from having enough money for that. So I could see Oh, but then it's like, oh man, I want the 90 rupees that are in Eastern, but I don't want to do that dark room.
No. I mean, if you at least had the fire rod, but trying to do that dark room with because then you're doing it twice, you know, and then you're dealing with the anti-fairies in the floor with the rupees. Yeah, really far away from that Zora money. So it makes it really not enticing to check the other 3 Zora locations when you can't actually get the Zora item.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the dilemma is also like, okay, I'll check Waterfall, I'll see what's on Zora Ledge, and then you've isolated Zora. Now, the nice thing though is as long as that Zora is not holding on to anything that would get us into the Dark World, you could always potentially route in Zora later with a catfish check.
Yeah, especially now that we have Mirror and Flipper, so that's really easy to do.
So right now, the only big difference between the two is that Corride has checked Ice Rock Cave. I believe that was it. And Corride, this is Corride's first time in this area, so going to save a little bit of time on Obscure, not having to double dip back to the East Palace area. Question is, will Corride just go ahead and do Eastern, or is this a trip up to the mountain?
I mean, it's got his flute out.
He's out of there.
Yeah, Obscure gonna go straight into Eastern. I mean, at the very least, he should be able to get the crystal.
But no concerns here. Now, it'll be interesting to see if we get anything out of these dark rooms on Obscure's side, then that could potentially put the lamp or whatnot up on Death Mountain, or, you know, a fire rod if there's something on Armos. Gotta love that fire rod dark room logic. It's so good.
Yeah, and also pointing out that we have 0 anything for Dark World access in terms of items. We're a lamp away from Aga access, but no Moon Pearl.
Yeah, that's a tough call to make.
Yep.
But we're getting a little bit of divergence, which is always fun. And well, the problem is without a fire source, we might not potentially be able to even clear Tower of Hera while we're up here. But, you know, there's 3 items outside of Hera that we can still get. One of them could be that fire source I was talking about. Could be a hammer, or it could be a piece of the puzzle to get into the Dark World. Could be a bee. It's also that.
And getting that save and quit spot's always nice. Those arrows not going to help us out, but they're that's a kind of a pain in the location to go get things at. So, you know, it's good news, bad news there, I'd say.
Oh, here's that Dark World. Check the map. Check the map.
Come on. Oh, there it is.
Ah, all right, we're gonna need that Cane of Samaria. We got Green Pendant Pod and Pendant Skullwood, so that Lumberjack Samaria is very required. Which means that...
You want to find a lamp so you can just go do it.
That means Aga is... well, here's the other thing is, I believe... Well, there's our hammer. That gives us East Death Mountain access. I believe Corride's the only one that actually has that Lumberjack info.
I believe that is correct. Oh, there's a Moon Pearl.
Pearl. Okay. Well, we're just a glove away from Dark World access at this point. So, this is good. Both players finding out good info. And the question is, though, like, when are those boots going to show up? Because, you know, a lot of players like to put off checking Lumberjack until they can actually, like, get the item. Or, like, at least getting the boots.
Yeah, yep. They'll route in that check with the other boots checks. We might see Obscure if he decides to go up the mountain, routed in then. We see that a lot.
Maybe, but with that flute, we probably won't see like the normal way up the... Maybe like a bumper ledge check. Once we get into the Dark World, you could see a bumper ledge check, mirror and check. What's that, Lumberjack? No items yet here in Tower of Hera. Let's see. We got a heart piece. Gonna get a little cheeky bomb jump across here.
A difficult bomb jump, but if you fail it, it's very punishing.
And no fire source required to clear this dungeon. There's both of our items. We're gonna get out of here just fine. Of course, no progression up here, but we did get that hammer, so that's gonna work out pretty conveniently.
Something in Spiral Cave, or more likely something in Paradox Cave.
Mm-hmm. And of course, there's still that possibility that there's something sitting in that middle chest in Desert Palace. Ooh.
And a bombos, which is a nice item. Doesn't do anything for us right now. Might be important for Ice Palace, or possibly for either Misery Mire or Turtle Rock.
We got flippers, we got hammer, but still need 2 gloves before
we still need a lot.
But yeah, I'd see bombos and I'm already starting to think, oh no. I'm gonna go get my fire rod out of ice at some point. One fall, but Corride does take out Moldorm. Rips their first crystal, and we're tied 1 crystal apiece. Heading over to East Death Mountain. So, what spots do we have isolated still at this point? We haven't done any of the Hylia checks. And, you know, we do have flippers and mirrors, so once we get to the Dark World, we can actually get the item on Lake Hylia. Yeah. So, Lake Hylia, Hobo...
Zora, the whole Zora area.
Zora, Waterfall.
We still have quite a bit open.
Gotta check Sick Kid with that new bottle we just got.
Sick Kid not too bad with the flute.
No. See what's on Floating Island, maybe? Just a big 20.
Looked like a 20.
Boy, I hope these runners get some boots pretty soon. I mean, thankfully,
the Steed has promised them that they will get boots. So
yes, which is nice.
We've seen plenty of bootsless Seed this tournament. Nice to know we won't have that here.
I have concluded that I not only prefer to play the game with boots, I also prefer to watch the game while they have boots, not while I have boots on. That'd be weird. But I want to see the runners.
Right, you don't have like a pair of boots in your closet just make you go really fast? Like that'd be weird.
I mean, I got house slippers, but you know, they don't really stay on my feet. But they are kind of nice. All right, Paradox Cave coming up. Spiral Cave having just a heart piece. We're not going to say no to those still, because you know we're not at full capacity with our health, so we'll take them. At this point, yeah, we're just looking for that glove. It's probably showing a half magic. Nice. Nice. That is a nice half magic and power already, and Burna. It's all there.
Yeah, well, Burna, that safety item in case the blind fight goes wrong, but I don't see that happening. They're pretty loaded up at this point.
That's our
fire shield. That's another. Oh, hey, there those boots. And a fire rod,
which puts Armos in. Or no, I didn't see where the big key was in
I don't think the big key. I thought the Moon Pearl was in the big key chest. So I want to say that the fire rod puts Armos in logic, but it doesn't put the Moon Pearl in logic.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. The Moon Pearl was over in the vanilla big key chest. All right, Corride can go fast now. Now, here's the thing. Corride knows about that Cane of Samaria and has the Fire Rod. And Fire Rod, Egg Power, especially with half magic, is not bad at all.
No, I think maybe, I mean, with the flute, you can get over to the Zora checks pretty quickly. So maybe you do the all but actual Zora. But if I have a choice between just doing Dark Aga for an item I know I need, plus Dark World access, and farming for Zora money, I might just do the Dark Aga play.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like... Oh, well, there's your Zora
there's Zora money.
So Corride needs that Moon Pearl, but still, even with that, would still need the actual lamp to get to the Dark World, logically, so yeah. It's gotta be around here somewhere, or there's just a glove around here somewhere. We are gonna see Magic Bat now we have that hammer in hand.
The question is, does Corride do Eastern before doing Zora?
I feel like...
He doesn't want to go there right now. Magic Bat, disappointing again.
I feel like with all the information that I have, I would probably just go ahead and do Dark Aga, just because it's fun. The Fire Rod.
Yeah, with the Fire Rod, it really isn't that bad.
Because here's the thing. Then you can walk all the way over to Pod, mirror, do Eastern, get your Moon Pearl that you know is there,
yep.
And then boom, you're done. You know, you just do both those dungeons. Like, it's genius. I don't know why they're not doing that.
It's like, gonna do Eastern first.
So that means that Lamp is probably in the Zora area. Could be in the desert area, but probably in the Zora area at this point.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, there's 4 locations Zora, and then, of course, that one chest in desert. If the Lamp is sitting there in that one chest in desert, we might just never see it. This depends on, do these runners want to do that Dark Aga play?
Man, it's a shame that Skullwoods is a pendant.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you have the perfect setup to go kill Moth, Mirror, and check the pedestal while you're there.
Yep.
But with it being a pendant, it's like, I don't want to go to Skullwoods.
No, no one wants to go to pendant anything.
The thing is, I mean, aside from, you know, a lamp and the other Dark World access, you know, we are, and a glove, you know, we do have access to the pedestal. If you just give us a couple more items, right?
Yeah, we're getting close. And of course, we're at that point where the runners are retracing each other's steps, so we're not seeing a whole lot new.
Chat does make up a good point. We do still have the items in the back of Escape that we have not seen, so it might come down to... I mean, that's perfect. You know, obviously you want a glove so you don't have to go all the way through Dark Cross again, but if you're going to go ahead and do Aga anyway, for that Canis Samaria, you just go do Eastern, you check the back, you mirror out, you do Aga Tower.
With mirror and boots, it really isn't that bad compared to no mirror, no boots, where you have to walk all the way, plus have to take a nasty death warp with rats that do like, what, a quarter heart of damage even on Green Mill.
Oh god, it's terrible. Well, the convenient thing for Obscure is, despite not checking Lumberjack earlier, having the boots now should send him up there to go check him.
He's got to be checking that now.
So you can go up, you can check it, and then you just flute to Kakariko, check Sick Kid, check Magic Bat, do the same thing that Corride just did, and then where do you go? You go to Zora? You get your... Yeah. Well, it's going to be just 7 rupees shy of that Zora check.
It's so bad. Oh, grab those 2 rupees. Maybe only be 5 rupees shy. Where are you? Okay. I'm gonna go back into desert.
Okay. This is an interesting play.
I don't have Zora money, so I don't want to do that yet. But Sick Kid and Magic Bat are just right there for you.
Oh, I would grab that 90 rupees too.
Yeah.
I mean, we might...
Yeah, because pod. Because you're going to spend your 500 rupees on Zora, but then you're going to want to potentially go into pod right afterwards. And, 90 rupees wouldn't quite be enough, but it's going to get you closer.
Yeah, and even if you didn't have the rupees, you're more than likely to head down to Hype Cave and then probably over to Digging Game where you can, if you need to, can do the archery game to get some pod money.
There you go.
We're just thinking way ahead. We haven't even... We got to find that lamp or that glove still, but... I mean, we are seeing some new stuff on Desert Side. We did get a small key in that middle chest. We're going to see nothing in that chest, because... I didn't see it.
I didn't see... Well, a map into something.
Probably the big key, I guess.
Yeah, because I think you leave otherwise. It looks like this... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We do have boots now.
I wonder if it's faster to mirror out from that chest and then go left as opposed to backing out.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I mirror, sometimes I don't.
Just a heart piece.
There. Completely not boots locked.
We're going to see Zora stuff from Corride. That big money from Sick Kid going to pay off. Single arrow. Well,
so desert, just bait. Nothing there.
Desert having a whole lot of nothing. Uh-oh.
So yeah, that book, and honestly that book giving us something in Ether Tablet kind of makes it a little less surprising that the desert didn't have anything.
Alright, having a little bit of trouble with those whirlpools. They can kind of... If you're not careful, they can send you right back. $20. 20 bucks. Oh. There's your Zora money.
Oh, fairy's better than a bee. I mean, until you want a death warp.
Right.
Thankfully, we have mirrors, so we don't really have to do a whole lot of death warp.
Right. It seemed to me like Obscure didn't really know what they wanted. There's that lamp on Zora Ledge. So
there
that puts... That's our Dark World access via Aga Tower.
We'll get the Zora item, we'll get that lamp, and head straight over to Aga. I might do the back first. I mean, I guess you don't really need to do the back first, because...
No.
Yeah, I mean, because I guess if you got your Tempered Sword, it makes it better. I mean, there are things that can make the Aga play better. But you have everything you need to do the Aga play. Mm-hmm. And you know you have to do it regardless because of the item. Whereas if the item was like 20 rupees, I would definitely do the back first, because then maybe it just keeps you from the Aga play. Let's see what Corride does.
I mean, we gotta do Aga anyway. I'd just go ahead and do Aga and then get a glove out of Hype Cave or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't do that. I would probably do back first because I'd be too afraid to do it otherwise. But I want one of them to skip the back. Looks like Corride's gonna skip the back.
He's skipping the back.
He's skipping the back. Man, if only we started with a sword, then we could have farmed a single bomb off of off of that rat.
The rat, yep.
Now this is a rare sight to see. Required Aga for Dark World potentially. No cape in sight. I am shocked.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Where's the cape?
Also, it seems like we don't have that many required Aga seeds for both Dark World and the item. It feels like even when it's like a glove or a hammer, the other items just happen to show up.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, we are going to see a little divergence here, so you're going to go ahead and check the back of Escape. It's a bit of a trick, but if there's a glove back there, or even like a Tempered Sword to speed up Aga Tower a wee bit.
Hookshot to get you across the river.
Hookshot, that would be, yeah, I mean, if like, we don't find anything in Hype Cave or whatnot. The other thing about this is, you know, after Aga Tower, we can do all of Pod once we get a little bit more fundage.
Yeah, that 44 rupees just not gonna cut it.
So both these runners, and you know, Catfish is not a possibility because of no gloves, so you really only have the option of going to Hype Cave next. And routing up to, we might actually see like a Bombos check. Oh, there's the Tempered Sword.
Wow.
Okay, well, honestly, it's good either way. It's good for Corride because, you know, it's not like a progression item. It's a nice item to have, and Corride will probably get it eventually unless they completely forget once they get a glove. But it does help out Obscure because, you know, a little bit faster Aga climb now.
It'd make more of a difference if we didn't have this fire rod, which is half magic, which just kind of makes a very quick work of all the enemies here.
And the thing is, we need gloves to beat this game. Even a single glove opens up so much, so a good chance we're gonna get a glove as soon as we get to the Dark World. Could even be on the pyramid. You never know. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'd be feeling pretty good either way.
All right, Corride into the Aga fight. So for some low number of blue balls. See some guesses in chat. There's one.
So far, so good. Aga being really nice right now. Unless...
Yeah, of course it's a blue ball right after you say that.
There's 3. I have no power here because this is 10 minutes in the past, so I can say whatever I want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right. Aga is done. See if the pyramid ledge has anything good.
Otherwise, we're heading to Hype Cave.
Okay, to be determined.
Maybe. I mean, we
Obviously,
do have
That's
both
2 medallions.
Fire and T-Rock required. So, good chance those are the medallions we need, but you never know. Could be an ether out there somewhere that we need. Oh, this is really smart.
Yeah, I like this.
I would have forgotten. Would have just gone straight to Hive Cave like a dummy. Yeah, did we actually see... Have we seen the Lake Hylia item?
I don't believe we have.
Ooh. Well... That's
nice
okay.
mushroom.
No, this is perfect. See, we'll go down... We'll take this route down here. We'll get the glove. And then at some point, we can just go up, do mushroom, catfish. That's it. And then you leave.
See if he checks the island right now.
Not checking it. That is interesting. Alright, 5 items coming up in Hype Cave. Are we gonna get something good? I'm expecting a glove, but if anything, let's get some dollary dues so we can go to Palace of Darkness. Yo,
okay,
dollary
close.
dues. $10 more. Oh, $5 more. No.
Oh, there. Okay, we're good now.
all right. That's too much money. Send it back.
So do you go do Stumpy and Dig Game, or do you just hightail it over to Pod? Oh, Pod is a pendant, though. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. Barf.
Oh, wait. We have Swamp, don't we?
Hookless Swamp? No.
No. You're right. No hook shot. We do have Swamp.
Ugh.
We do have Swamp. No one wants to do it without a hook shot.
I'll take the pendant pod over a hookless Swamp any day. Unless I'm like Hook from Go Mode, then we'll see.
Yeah, then maybe. Yeah, it's a little too early to be betting on a hookless Swamp, I think. Well, now we have all the money we could possibly want.
We could buy so many potions.
We could.
With our one bottle that has a fairy in it, probably. Alright, well, we have 3 more checks up along this route. We're still hoping for a glove or even like a hook shot. Hook shot would be huge because we would be able to do all of Swamp, but it would also allow us to hook shot across the broken bridge. Oh, Corride. No glove.
No gloves. Lake gloves do weird things.
Late, they really do. Going through Thieves Town, just enjoying your time there, and you're like, oh yeah, I gotta kill these enemies. Dang it.
Now, the worst for me, I remember the first time I played a Cross Keys Seed and didn't have gloves for Ice Palace. That was weird.
That's an easy one to forget about. That, or like you get to the end of Spike Cave and you're like, oh yeah, I want to have one of those. Glove? 10 arrows.
Nope.
Okay, now I need K45 to have the shovel just for epic funny. That's why I always check this one first, just in case that happens.
Just $10.
So this is looking kind of questionable. But yeah, it is looking like Pod's probably going to be where we need to go.
It has that green pendant.
I would still take late glove seeds over late hammer seeds any day.
Yeah, the gloves gate you from so much more. Like the hammer, you know, like in the hammer you can go into hammerless ice, you can go into hammerless thieves and leave that big chest and have that screw you.
Well, every time it's a late hammer, it's like, okay, time to flip a coin. Pod versus ice. Oh,
yeah.
Wrong again. Every time. All right, where are we going? What's the deal? What's the plan? Check that mushroom.
Yeah, that's a fair choice. But fire rotting the witch is not the way to do that.
Is this our first glove? No.
No.
Of course not. Oh, don't fall for it twice, Obscure. Okay. We saw on Obscure said that they also went and tried to lift the rock.
Oops.
Oops. Okay, well, here we are.
So yeah, I think the idea is going to Pod, but without the glove, you're not getting in that way. It could be worse. It could be if it were Mit's access, and then Oh,
yeah, the lake.
Oh, okay. He's gonna check Lake Hylia.
Bugnet.
And Bugnet. Yeah, I think that Bugnet's just gonna sit there forever.
My hopes, they keep going up and then getting shattered. At least that one was
fun. Do we have anything but Pod at this point? Like, is that our only choice?
Pod and Hookless Swamp.
Pod and Hookless Swamp. Okay.
Really
bad choices.
Yeah. Now, Corride does have desert as well. Obscure does not. But I'd assume they'll probably go to the same spot. Now, Obscure, hopefully, will just save and quit to get back to the pyramid if they want to go to Pod. But they might want to check that mushroom as well.
Isn't saving and quitting. It is mirroring.
Well, I mean, there is a good chunk of items here in Pod. We also don't know what's on that pedestal yet.
Yeah, they could check it. Nobody has.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about that. It's like, maybe if Pod was just a normal pendant, but with it being a green pendant, I feel like you're more than likely just going to go ahead and check it or clear it.
Yeah. Yep.
The entire dungeon. But if it was like a regular pendant, I would be checking that ped before heading to Pod. It's like, I just want to know if I need to kill this boss or not.
Yeah, and I could see the argument for after doing Pod and getting that green pendant, going and checking the pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
Before going back to desert. Well, you can't even get to Skullwoods right now.
Right. And the thing is, they can't, like, I mean, the ped could be our second glove. It can't be our first glove because of desert. But aside from that, I mean, we're still looking for, we need Hookshot for Swamp. We know where Canis Amari is.
Kane doesn't do a lot. I mean, the only thing Kane would do for us right now is it lets you cover that one switch to get to the back of Pod. Mm-hmm. I don't think you go out of your way to grab the cane just for that.
Saves you a statue push.
Yeah. Hey, more money.
Just what we needed.
We'll be able to fill those bottles many, many times at this point.
The worst thing that could possibly happen after all this is this still turning into an ice rod hunt, which is very possible.
No, not an ice rod hunt.
Hopefully it shows up soon. I had the perfect combination of terribleness with a race yesterday where it was bootsless the entire time, ice rod hunt for go mode, and a late hammer. It was just beautiful. I love it. And also it was, late hammer from an item in the back of Thieves' Town.
Oh God.
You really hate me, game, huh? There's the big key right there. I would almost be obligated to go straight to Helma at that point.
Yeah. I mean, certainly if this was a crystal, I would definitely go straight to Helma. Perhaps Corride's thinking, if I get something really good back here, maybe I don't do Helma. And with the mirror, it doesn't change things. Like without the mirror, I really like going to the boss first, because then it just warps you back to the front, and then you just save and quit out of the back, rather than worrying about death warps.
With it being a green pendant, I would go straight for it, just because if I do find stuff here, I'm going to feel the pressure of, like, I should just skip Helma and take my item elsewhere, but if green pendant ends up having something, then it's like, well... Just eliminate that pressure of, like, do I go back in to get that last check? Yeah, other than that 300 rupees, I don't think we've seen anything else in here. There's 3 bombs. What else we got? A map?
Now, Harmless Hellway will just have a small key, so we'll skip that.
The nice thing with this is you'd be able to check with that mirror. You can just immediately check that green pendant right away. Save a little bit of time there. What do we got in the dark maze? There's that shovel.
God.
Oh baby.
Well, I mean, you're not
enough to send me out.
No, definitely not.
How about $50? Is that
more money? Well, I mean, if it got us Zora money or something dumb, like, no, it wouldn't be enough.
Ooh, that was close. I thought Corride was gonna accidentally mirror out.
Okay, well, we're definitely gonna go kill Helma now. I think he has an item, so no. Okay, not gonna.
Okay.
Oh. Little indecision there.
See, that's why you just go right for it, because then at that point it's like, okay, I'm getting a green pendant. I don't know if Helma has an item or not. And then, then you don't have this kind of pressure moment of like, do I skip it? Now, of course, we only got a shovel, which, could lead to something, but you don't want to go run over, check shovel, find another 50 bucks, and then go, I have to go back. I have to go back to pod.
Weird that both runners looked that they were going to go for the hammer jump and then bailed. With this key layout, there really isn't. It doesn't really. It's not a huge time save, especially having that mirror.
I also got to remember that Obscure does have that sword upgrade from the back of Escape, so Corride's probably still has that spot in the back of their mind.
I hope we ever find gloves.
Just think if you could have had that, like, leaving Escape. That would have been nice.
Would have been nice. Here gets the shovel. Also, Turtle's much worse with Master Sword than Tempered Sword.
Mm-hmm. You're also almost mirroring out, thinking that the bomb door was already open. I'm surprised that neither of them tossed a bomb over, because that's kind of like the standard. If you're not going to go for the hammer jump, at least set it up. Plenty of health. Does also have that fairy. Helma does do 2 hearts of damage, so you gotta be careful, but has plenty of health. I'm gonna go for Master Sword slashes, which...
8 slashes. Careful. Okay, good.
Alright, time to find out if that green pennant was worth it. If it's... Otherwise, we're gonna go check a shovel spot and head into Hookless Swamp. But here's the question for Corride. Having not gone into Desert or to the back of Escape, would Corride make the Hookless Swamp play or not?
I think having already abandoned back of Escape, and with the possibility of the desert is just like a compass or something in that chest, Hookless Swamp maybe the best of a bad set of choices.
You'd just be hoping that shovel leads to a glove or a hook shot. Holy cow. I'd be like...
Or green pendant.
Out. Or green pendant. Yeah, that shovel could lead to a green pendant. That'd be great.
Ugh.
Oof.
Not what we were looking for. Okay, now you check the shovel because you went all the way to the back of pod to get it. Okay, now you go to desert.
Well, despite despite all the extra stuff that Obscure's done, we're pretty neck and neck. I think Obscure does still need to go. Did Obscure check Mushroom already, or no?
I don't think so.
I don't remember. Yeah, that pod so far having nothing. I gotta know what's on that shovel. This is interesting though. This has got to be the latest seed in this tournament we've had to not have gloves at this point.
Gloves for sure. I mean, I've seen some late sword seeds. I've seen late mitts, late hammer. I don't think I've seen anything this late for gloves, like first gloves. Corride can get all this stuff for desert and not going to be able to do a whole lot with it.
See that piece of heart on the torch and get the single arrow out of the big chest. And then think, now what? I guess probably head to Agana's cave next. But this makes me think that they're probably going to do everything before Hookless Swamp.
I want to say he did Agana when checking the ledge.
When he checked the ledge, you are correct.
Yeah. Obscure gonna get the disappointment that is the green pendant.
Shovel time? Shovel time on both sides.
It's gotta be shovel time.
All right. A little bit of synchronization.
On, let's go. Let's go, Shovel. Give us something good.
Is this our glove? Or is this a hook shot? I'd prefer a hook shot at this point. Just let me go do swamp.
Yeah,
I'll get a glove out of there. Oh,
or it's just a heart container. Okay, so are we hookless swamp at this point? Like,
probably for Obscure, yes. Corride might go back of escape. Yeah, that's looking like back of escape.
Back of escape.
And Obscure gonna go. Oh yeah, they have to go into the dark.
Oh yeah. Oh, either way, they have to
get to swamp.
So this could still
be
swamp for Corride. And in fact, oh no, this is gonna be back of escape for Corride. Obscure gonna go straight to swamp, I suspect. I would argue that going ahead and getting that cane now before going into swamp, because if you get a hook shot in swamp, you want to have the cane for diver down to the back.
Yeah, I'd almost. It's tough because it is kind of out of the way to get that cane of Samari, and bomb diver down's really not too bad, all things considered.
And this is kind of a good news, bad news for Corride. He'll like getting that tempered sword, but it's not really what he's looking for at this point. There's probably a tempered sword in swamp anyway, so, you know.
There's always a sword in swamp. We'll be looking for them green 20s. He just... For these runners at this point, I just put a hook shot in here or something, please.
Yeah. Just that first chest, give us a hook shot. I mean, if there's nothing good in the first few chests, it makes the choice to do left side easy.
Oh, yeah. Tempered sword for Corride. And probably going to be joining Obscure here in Hookless Swamp. Ooh. We are looking for a few things. Most importantly, probably a glove. Ideally, a hook shot. But first you get a map. Oh my gosh, if it's on left side...
It's wrong. We know it's going to be left side.
The thing is, what stinks for these players is they're like... I'm sure they probably... if I was a runner in here, I would first assume that my opponent did everything perfectly.
Of course.
It's already done. But second, I'd be like, my opponent did all of pod before Hookless Swamp, right? Right? There's no way. There's no way you wouldn't do that. Hookless Swamp before Pentapod? Green Pentapod? That's crazy.
There's still enough things that could be on pedestal. That pod might still be required.
True.
We're a glove away from Ped being in logic. Okay, second chest in the swamp.
Gonna be our glove.
A glove. Okay, well, okay, Obscure just gonna leave. Which is fine.
It's fine.
I have seen a number of races where that exact location has been the thing. And then one runner goes to the left side and finds something, and the other one doesn't. So,
I mean, as long as...
On the other hand, I'm a chronic left side skipper, so I probably would have left too.
What if... just imagine other glove on left side.
I know, right? That'd be crazy.
That's a tough call, though. You know, I'd be too scared to bail, but we'll see what... I mean, as long as both runners do the same thing, it's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, we can play the game now. We can go do all of Crystal Thieves Town.
Yep. We can go get all our pendant dungeons done and pull Ped.
Mm-hmm. So now we still need... We know where Kane is. It's on the Lumberjack. We can get that at any moment. We need another glove. We'll need that ice rod. We need that hook shot.
And maybe ether? Hopefully not ether.
Hopefully not ether. All right, moment of truth for Corride. Gonna stick it out or gonna bail?
He's gonna stick it out.
Oh, baby. This could be huge.
Nope.
Just kidding. All right.
Just kidding. It's right.
That's been the story of the seed. Indecision. I've been seeing so much of it from both these runners, and I don't blame them because this seed is kind of terrible.
Yeah, it's taking all the standard routing and just throwing it completely out the window.
All right, clearly our next progression is in Spike Cave. Why are they not going to Spike Cave? They have everything they need to do Spike Cave.
Yeah, they could do Spike Cave.
Oh, there's the
hook shot. Okay,
all
so
right.
At the very least, if there's something on left side swamp, the hook shot will make it a lot faster to do.
Okay. All right. That's good. Tracy, can you believe it? We're just like one item away, potentially, from Ice Rod Go mode. Isn't that wonderful?
Let's go Ice Rod hunt. Let's not put an ether hunt on top of that, at least, please.
Yeah, well, 2 items in the front of Thieves Town, so 2 items are going to be in the back. It's a Crystal Dungeon, we can do all of it, and it also will unlock Pyramid Fairy. It being the other Pyramid Fairy crystal, so there's 2 more checks, and if you want an excuse to go route in Catfish, could also, you know, hookshot across, check King's Tomb and Grave Ledge. Just really feel like doing a lot of overworld checks.
I feel like going back into Swamp after this is the right thing because of that hookshot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the tough thing.
The next thing is the mitts, and then that hopefully you find that ice rod before the mitts, because mitts go mode, and again, hopefully no ether. Mitts go mode is actually not bad. That's not a bad go mode.
As long as you don't last location those mitts, it's not bad.
Well, go mode where you last location go mode, I don't care what it is bad. There's a lot more places that ice rod can hide out than there is for those mitts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the question here is, at this point, do you kind of switch focus and just, like you said, go right back to Swamp? It's a crystal dungeon. We need to beat it. Or do you know, check a few more overworld spots along the way? Do you dip into a Pendant Skull Woods?
No, I think at least doing some of the north checks, since you have the boots, since you have to get that cane eventually anyway, makes a little bit of sense. I don't think I go into Skull Woods at this point.
Yeah, I would probably put that off and then route up, see what's on Bumper Ledge near, get my Cane of Samaria, and then head to Swamp.
Yeah, all reasonable. Maybe do Graveyard Ledge, maybe not. That's such a long check.
No,
it's not nearly as bad.
I would group graveyard check with like a Pyramid Fairy route up to Catfish, because you can hookshot across. But that's also a long sequence.
This is the second race today where people have forgotten they don't have the small key and try to go to the big chest. I believe we saw that in the earlier race today. Yeah, a little bit of muscle memory, it happens.
Oh. Just like earlier when they both tried to lift a rock that they couldn't lift. It happens. Real easy. 50 plus minute glove feels like I'm playing a cross keys.
Yeah, there you go.
Good blind fight from Obscure. I think this is our last item. $50.
Yeah, more money.
Question is, where do we go next? I think Obscure still needs to finish out the Village of Outcast checks.
Yeah, I think so.
But then, do you head north, check a few overworld, or you book it to Swamp?
See if Corride remembers that he doesn't have the small key. Okay, good. Okay, I think he's at least gonna go get that cane.
Cane and a little bit of information, and then right back to Swamp. We've done enough Pendant Dungeon shenanigans today, and it's amounted to nothing. So probably gonna want to not go into a third Pendant Dungeon.
All right, Corride can be forced or faced with this same decision.
I feel like for the most part, both these runners have been kind of routing very similarly.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume Corride would do the same.
Also, as this last C-shaped house, it looks like.
So now, of course, at this point, as Tracy was saying earlier, you want to see that ice rod now, and then the mitts, and not the ether requirement. Because, then you get to go mode ice. You get to go mode basically all of our remaining crystal dungeons.
Yeah, go mode ice is really nice. Go mode mire depends on what the big key is, and go mode turtle rock, well, isn't that different from regular turtle rock. But you can just get mimic cave. That's always nice.
Yeah, and sometimes, and usually a portion of laser bridge, depending on where that key ends up being. Yeah, we're gonna see probably the back of swamp. Now the question is though, like
now you have to ask, do you go left side?
Yeah. We did get a dungeon item in the front, so there is at least going to be one item on the left side. So yeah, it's a tough call. And
now,
you gotta be feeling behind just in general, just based on the way the seed is playing. That you're like, I want to skip stuff.
And I know for me personally, I don't like doing left side swamp without the big key, because the only thing worse than going back in for 2 or 3 items is getting the big key on Argus and having to decide whether to go back in for 1 item in the big chest.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Obscure is going to do the left side right now.
We're also seeing Grave and King's Tomb on Corride's side, so bit of a divergence here.
No, if these are mitts, I mean, King's Tomb mitts, that's a classic. On the other hand, if it's mitts that could, green bottle doesn't want it.
Probably feeling pretty good with that half magic.
Yeah, and has the tempered sword, so that's the reason why I think he's got like at least 1 bottle.
Yeah, the one with the fairy in it.
Yep. If this were mitts, if Corride gets those mitts before Obscure, could take him on a lot of checks that maybe he doesn't need to do otherwise. But
let's see, what do we got in King's Tomb?
Or it could just be bombs.
3 bombs. Now the question is, do we keep going all the way to Catfish at this point, or do we?
Oh, does he?
Looks like we're going, yeah.
Yeah, looks like.
I would have been thinking that mitts would be in there. Oh wow,
where is he going?
Going to Skull Woods.
I don't like that. There's a crystal dungeon you can do. See a heart container. And a green rupee. So if Corride skips left side, he'll gain a bunch of time there.
Yeah, that's gonna be risky though. When you know there's 2 items on left side.
I know, that's a tough one.
But at least in that case, I mean, there's a good chance that the big chest is going to either contain a compass or the big key itself now. Probably won't, and Obscure's going to have to triple dip this dungeon.
Yeah, like I said, this is why I don't like going left side without a big key.
Well, you did get 1 item out of Skull Woods, is the heart container here in the Veil Big Key chest.
I think this is more about checking ped than about doing Skull Woods.
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean, mitts can be on the pedestal.
They sure can, and Ice Rod can always be on ped, so.
Heart container. There's the compass. Uh-oh. All right, what do we got on the ped? It's
a piece of heart. Sorry, chat. Ped is dead.
Oh, there's that sword and swamp.
There you go. Always a sword and swamp.
We don't actually know that. It was the green 20, and it could have been a lot of things. But it's always a funny.
That's okay. I called a race earlier where there were 2 swords in swamp and took with 1 player having a master sword and the other having a fighter sword, to 1 player having tempered sword and the other player having master sword. Although in the end they both had tempered.
2 swords in swamp. It's ridiculous. Okay, well this is arguably a pretty big gamble on Corride's side, especially because, pedestal's dead. Moth doesn't have to have the second item here.
No, he doesn't.
So this is kind of going all in. Now, we haven't seen anything in Swamp yet.
Here's that big key.
The triple dip Swamp. That is one thing that I do not like about Swamp is the big key can be... I mean, same situation here in Skullwoods. It's just frustrating when you have to backtrack to check the big chest.
Yep. And he's going back in.
He doesn't... I don't think he has many options at this point. There's a map.
Go to Skullwoods and get that map.
Yeah, unfortunately can't mirror out. Even though it is a pendant, I believe you can mirror out if it's a pendant if you're in the light world, but I don't think you can mirror out of boss.
Is that how that works? Okay.
Rooms in the dark world, regardless of pendant. That's purely based on experience. I don't know if that's actually accurate or not, but that sounds correct to me, so we'll roll with it. Just a heart piece, so...
had gloves and nothing else.
Nothing else. So that mitts is either on Catfish, Spike Cave, also in Skull.
We still have another item in Skull. I think that's it.
Oh, and Pyramid Fairy. We do have that now.
Oh, we have Pyramid Fairy. And that might be what we're doing right now on Obscure side.
Oh my gosh, this seat is disgusting.
This is terrible. It's terrible layout, key layout for the route Corride chose here.
Yeah, well, that small key there would have made checking the front super easy. So yeah. I feel like when you have the mirror, just checking that first chest is worth doing. And there's the mitts.
There's the mitts.
Okay.
Okay, so we're down to an Ice Rod hunt on Corride's side. Oh, baby.
Potentially. We gotta go check Meyer first.
Well, and Turtle Rock, I mean.
Oh, yeah, true. Oh, that's the worst. Go up to T-Rock just to see that it's Ether. Well, then, more than likely, Ether would just be chilling in Hookshot Cave or something. Nothing at Pyramid Fairy. Oh, gosh. What do we have for Misery Mire? It's Quake.
The Quake.
That's a completable dungeon.
Well, completable. You do it now? Yeah, I think he does it now.
Corride now in the driver's seat with that kind of off-the-wall Skullwoods play that ended up paying off. Unfortunately, could have done a little bit faster had Corride routed that a little differently, but it's Skullwoods. There's no right, there's no correct way to route
right way to do it. Yeah, it doesn't matter which way you route it; it'll be wrong. We are gonna see. Yeah, we'll see that catfish. If Ice Ride is just chilling here in Misery Mire, that's gonna be really good for Corride. He'll be able to just go mode Swamp Palace and save a ton of time there.
Yeah, that's kind of a good, pretty significant point. If Ice Ride isn't here yet, because I'm sure Corride does not want to have to triple dip Swamp Palace. That ate up a good chunk of time.
That's not catfish. At this point, I do expect the Ice Rod probably is behind the myth somewhere. Now, if you're Corride, after you finish Misery Mire, if you don't find that Ice Rod, do you head up to the mountain to find out what your... I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff there, and you can find out your Turtle Rock medallion requirement. Or do you go to, like, Ice Palace or Swamp Palace and just do a crystal dungeon you know you can do?
That is the tough part, because, like, if you go up and you don't find Ice Rod and Hookshot Cave or Super Bunny, like, and you can get into T-Rock, then all of a sudden...
Yeah, do you
I
go
look for the Ice Rod in here, or... Here's our first item in Mire, just a green 20.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of those. I don't know that they've gotten Sankheart, so they're either most likely missing Sankheart and either 4 pieces or 1 more heart container. No big key yet, so not a Godmire.
Well, I believe at this point Obscure only has Skullwoods left after Graveyard Ledge. So.
Yep, so he'll get those mids pretty soon, and likely if he passes a little bit differently, there's a good chance he doesn't take quite as long there. Obscure wants the bottle though. There's that big key. I don't blame Corride for skipping cutscene chests at this point. There's a good chance it's just the small key, so... Since if there is a big key in, on that side, sorry, if there's a small key on that side, then the big key has to be in the other one. The chest.
Yeah, hopefully for Corride, the second item is over here. Not having to worry about cutscene chest, but... I mean, either way, they're going to Viddy next.
Yeah, now I'm gonna take that gamble of maybe Viddy just has the item and I don't ever have to do the cutscene. And Viddy can have a small key, so you can't even deduce anything from that.
Hey, well, looks like Obscure checking pedestal, skip it out on Skullwoods, go do Spike Cave. Now, we haven't seen this item.
Nope, this is a new one.
Could be the Ice Rod. But if not, then that's going to be a hard last location for those mitts. Yeah, didn't look like the spooky action glitch worked on Corride's side. Well,
hey, it's a nice item.
It's a nice one. Not what you wanted to see.
Not what you want.
Unfortunately for Corride, this Viddy fight shouldn't be too much trouble, as Tempered Sword can do some damage boost. Speedrun strats, and then finish off the arrows. Does also still, I think, have that fairy in a bottle in case things go sour, but they're not going sour.
No, that looks really good.
Will this be the second item, though? It is.
Yes. It's a crap item, but it's an item. So the
we'll take it.
Cutscene chest, I believe, has a small key, so we never have to go find it.
And now, where are we off to next? This is Ice Palace, back to Swamp, up the mountain. Now, Corride also didn't do Pyramid Fairy or Catfish, so that's also got to be on the back of their mind as well.
Oh, we still haven't seen Checkerboard Cave. We're going to see that here first.
We still don't know if we need another medallion for T-Rock, but as of right now, as far as we know, we just need that Ice Rod.
And it's not there. Okay, where are we floating to? Looks like ice. I like the Ice Palace play before the Swamp Palace play, with Icebreaker making this so much faster for non-go mode. It's not even that much faster in go mode, but in non-go mode, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and I can also understand.
Did save time. He got his bits and is not going to check the rest of Skullwoods. Doesn't have to kill the boss.
I'd also imagine Corride doesn't want to be tempted to skip or do left side swamp or any of that nonsense.
Yep. It'll be a hard decision if the Ice Rod's not in here, whether to go back into swamp or go up the mountain.
I mean, we do also still have, like, Smith Chain hammer pegs.
Yep.
Ugh. There's our first item in ice.
An item already.
It's our third bottle we've seen. Corride, of course, skipped the one that was at Graveyard Ledge, so... Now, normally I don't think you need to hit the switch if you're going to full clear ice.
Yeah,
but
I don't
just
like
in case Ice Rod shows up right away, then you want to hit the switch so you can...
Yeah, it's a little bit... The way it would really burn you if you don't hit the switch is if the big key is... If you get all the items and then the big key sitting in iced tea. I typically like to hit the switch if I'm not in go mode. But we've seen an item already, so... And if it is Ice Rod, if this were an Ice Rod, then you just go mode the rest of it. It would essentially be the same thing. If you're in go mode, you absolutely hit the switch because you don't want to search out that big key.
Just want to grab the small key under this rock and then be on your merry way. What's the next item going to be here in Ice Palace? It is a red 20, not a green 20. So one more item left in Ice Palace. We're still looking for that Ice Rod. And there it is. Okay, well, good thing you hit the switch.
Yeah, he's done. Nothing else here. I mean, if the big key turned out to be in the freezer room, you wouldn't lose that much time. Actually, it'd be probably about a wash because you wouldn't have had to do the door transitions. But, like I said, if you have that layout where the big key's sitting there in iced tea, then it definitely would have been a time loss to not hit that switch, so... At worst, he breaks even. At best he breaks even. At worst, no, he breaks even. Either way, so it's good.
We'll see if Obscure decides to route similarly in... Oh, okay. Well, we know the big key is is Fire Rod Lock, so we're going to lose a little bit of time heading back over this way, but... Corride hopping into the Cold Stare fight. Half Magic, Fire Rod, Tempered Sword. This fight's going to be easy. But then the question is, where to next?
I want to see the mountain.
Ooh, gotta be careful.
Granted,
does have a fairy, but...
He has a fairy. He's fine. He's got a fairy. I'm a little biased because I know there's nothing in Swamp.
The other thing to think about for Corride is, like, if you put off Swamp, but Ice Rod's just conveniently in there, you gotta be feeling bad.
Oh, yeah.
But Corride probably feeling... I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how these players are feeling. This seed's been kind of rough.
No, this is a weird seed. I don't see how you could feel ahead in this seed. It will be the Swamp play.
And we'll probably see Ice Palace on Obscure's side immediately after this, and then we'll like sync up.
We'll have Death Mountain. We'll have Smith Chain. Yeah, pretty much Death Mountain and Smith Chain if you consider Turtle Rock part of Death Mountain. Between the two of them, of course, there are places that each one is checked, the other hasn't. We'll see what decision Corride makes in terms of left side swamp. And the weird thing with left side swamp, I mean, there's two ways to think about it in terms of if you feel behind. So if you feel behind, and you know this, if he just goes straight to the back, he'll know he'll have 3 items to go back in for. One way to think about it is, maybe my opponent didn't do this, and I'm going to go do this and get the item that I need.
Mm-hmm. And then win.
Or you can think, I'm going to save time by just not doing this and hope my opponent did do it for nothing. Oh. And both are equally valid.
Mm-hmm. Well, if Corride does go to the back and then decides to go back in, at least it'll be a little bit faster than what Obscure did with the triple dip. But we'll see. We've been seeing a lot of players skipping left side swamp in this tourney. And, I mean, I feel like more often than not, it hasn't burned people.
I think you're right. It's just very noticeable when it does.
Yeah.
There's that compass. Next, you're going to do that checkerboard check.
And yeah, if Corride decides to skip left side swamp, I mean, we're gonna hold on to this lead.
That'll be good for him.
But yeah, we still have no idea where that ice rod is. It could just be conveniently on the way to T-Rock up on Death Mountain. It could be in T-Rock, which would be the opposite of convenient. Well, I guess technically it'd be convenient if you knew it was there, but you don't. Or it could be, through the Smith Chain. So we're just waiting. And who knows? We might still need ether. But at this point, I mean, there's not that many, like, horrible places it could be, because we've kind of cleared a lot of this game already.
Oh, nice. Nice Argus kill from Corride there. It's the bad news that there are 3 items left here. Be interesting to see if Obscure hits the switch. Okay, he's gonna hit the switch.
All right, see you later, 3 items in Swamp. That is a very bold play with 3 items in Swamp. That's bonkers, but it's gonna work out. I would not have the guts to make that kind of play. But...
Yeah, if the item's on the way to, Corride's gonna be really good. If it's in TR and he goes in, it'll be really good. If it's on Smith Chain, you might go back to left side swamp before that. I don't know. Although I feel like if you're gonna skip left side swamp, you want to stick with that skip.
Mm.
Just don't be Ether. Okay. First moment of truth.
Do we need Ether? We do.
Of course we do.
All right, well...
We're not going to get sucked into Turtle Rock unless the Ether's right here, which of course happens all the time.
I mean, there's not that many places it can be at this point.
No, there really isn't.
That we haven't already seen, so it's either up here or at Smith Chain, pretty much?
Yeah, I think that's correct. And... again, we're going to be hoping for a ice... There it is. I was about to say we want an ice rod before we want Ether, but that's not happening because there is the Ether.
Very funny game. How original.
Yep, never seen that before.
Never. Alright, now just put ice rod here and then we can just, you know, execute on our way out of this seed. Nope. Oh, okay.
Okay,
alright,
so Corride probably gonna go in. I think you go in here. The one bad thing with the left side swamp situation for Corride is that's 3 items that you won't be able to use just... Well, okay, we can't really save Mirror Portal here anyway. I'm trying to think if there's anything Light World left. So I think saving the Mirror Portal is just out. The only way you can save a Mirror Portal if Ag is dead is if you only go to Light World checks. And I want to say there maybe is something on Landmo. It's it?
No, we got both items.
We got both items at Desert?
Yeah,
okay, so
it was
yeah.
Torch and Big Chest. It was...
Right, yeah, that's right. And this and the arrow. Yep. That sounds right.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any locations that they can go to that allows them to save that Mirror Portal. So
well, if Ice-Star does show up here, you know, our players are going to be not too far apart from each other, you know.
See, Obscure makes the same decision here.
Corride's still holding on to that lead that they had, but we're not going to know for sure until we see that Ice Rod show up. Of course, fortunately for these two, this is only their game 1, so you know nobody's going home after this seed.
Not yet. Now, are we down to Smith Chain after this? I mean, I know Corride has the Pyramid Ferry to check and the left side swamp, but
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all that we have.
Oh, hey, another bottle.
Sweet. Yeah, we checked Bombo's tablet. Yeah, because both players tried to lift that rock going up to Stumpy without a glove. So it's, you know, 5 potential items in here, plus a 6th at Mimic Cave versus 3 items at Smith Chain. Smith, Hammer Pegs, and Purple Chest. I can't imagine anyone's feeling good after full clearing this game, pretty much. No. I mean, Corride's going to feel...
It never feels good to full clear the game in any randomizer.
I mean, despite Corride's unfortunate routing in Skull Woods, which ate up a lot of time, like, Corride did skip Pyramid Fairy, Catfish, and Left Side Swamp, and Big Chest and Swamp, so... Gonna feel good. I mean, that's the thing, is if Iceraw's not in here, you know, Corride could go back and do Pyramid Fairy instead of Smith Chain, because Smith Chain kind of stinks, but it's at least better with Mirror.
And after the lava chest, and it's just 10 arrows. So next thing will be Mimic Cave. Although sometimes you'll see runners do the big chest first, because you save a little bit of time if it's in the big chest and you don't have to do Mimic Cave. Lose a little bit of time if it's not. That go -1, you'll see runners do that big chest first sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like I would go for the big chest before Mimic Cave. Save some mirror animations and whatnot. But at this point, it's a pretty good chance it's just going to be a small key.
He's going to do this first. Or a map.
Or a map. Well, that could have been it, but we got a map instead. It could have been it.
Yeah, it means Crystal Roller will be a key, so that means we're going to be down to Laser Bridge. Unless it's right here in Mimic Cave.
Please be right here. For the sake of these runners.
Just a piece of heart. Now we're maxed out. Well, both players are maxed out on hearts. Obscure gonna get a green 20 on that one. So if it's not Laser Bridge, it really is going to come down to, does Corride go straight to the Smiths, or does he bank on some of those other checks that Obscure's already done?
Yeah, because like Pyramid Fairy is not too bad because we have the Aga Portal. Speed that up a little bit. And Smith Chain isn't too bad because we have the Mirror.
Yep.
So...
I can't imagine he goes back to Swamp. Like, just commit to that skip. But the other checks may be enticing.
Oh, also, that's another good point. Corride hasn't done Spike Cave yet, so...
I don't think he does. No, he doesn't do Spike Cave because this is not a convenient. You'd have to save and quit to the old man spot because you're going to be out this door or out the other door. If you
yeah, that's a good point.
So getting a Spike Cave is not convenient at this point.
All right, this is
it.
One more chance. Is this the Ice Rod? No,
of course not.
Oh gosh, this seat is terrible. Oh,
okay, Corride, moment of truth. Where are you headed?
So it's Smith Chain. That's all we have left.
I think that's all we have left. And that's it's a 4. This is Pyramid Fairy.
This is Pyramid Fairy. But I mean, Corride does have a little bit of time left before Obscure catches up. But here's the thing.
Really close race if he does Pyramid Fairy and then goes over to the Smith Chain.
Corride very likely might go to Catfish after this, though.
Yeah, that's kind of slow. I mean, at least he's got boots.
But because if you don't do it now, you're never doing it. So.
Well, maybe you're just never doing it.
You might just not do it. I mean, it'll get done before your opponent would finish.
Yeah.
Catfish doesn't take that long to trace it.
With boots, yeah, it's not too bad. See what he does after this. Go a little bit ahead if he goes straight to the Smiths. If he goes to Catfish, it's going to be a lot closer.
I think if he goes to Catfish, like, it's gonna sync up.
Yeah, I think so.
But Corride might also go do Spike Cave next at this point.
Now, this is Catfish.
Well, after Catfish.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, here's the thing about it is these are pre-myths checks. And, you know, a lot of times when making decisions, you're thinking to yourself, do I go in the next, move on to the next chain of items?
Yeah.
So anything post-myths. And this is still a good play, for all he knows. Because
for sure.
He doesn't know where they are.
Like, just because I personally like to follow the thing that's further down the logic, but doesn't mean that's the right decision. Yeah, not even gonna catch those bombs.
Well, if they both go to 3 immediately, we have a race.
We do. Where are you going, Corride?
It's a Spike Cave.
It's a Spike Cave.
I guess we don't have a race now. Dang. My favorite, though, is going to be if it's in Hammer Pigs and Obscure has to turn into Smith.
I know, that happens sometimes. I was even thinking about that. I think I would just do Hammer Pigs first and then grab the Smith just to avoid that scenario.
You got to mirror into the light world anyway. You don't even have to get the item from Smith. You can just turn him in and then leave.
That's true. I mean, a cape is nice.
Give me the funny. Come on. Show me the funny. Right here. Aw, come on, man. Alright, just put on purple chest then. Whatever. I don't... Make it as terrible as possible.
3 or 4 Corride. Okay, this is the Smiths for Corride. It is hard skipping the left side swamp play. That's not a surprise.
Is this the ice rod? No.
Are you my ice rod?
Oh my gosh, it's actually going to be on purple chest.
It is purple chest. Oh,
this seat is horrible. I feel so bad for these runners.
And we know Corride picking up the Smith is right, because can't get the purple chest until the Smith is turned in.
Alright, at 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 46 seconds, we have our first player in go mode. Oh boy. And I'm pretty sure Obscure has full cleared the game, minus the 1 item in Skull Woods, I'd say.
I think that is correct. And for Corride, it'll be full cleared the game except the 3 items left in Swamp.
Yep. So... Ooh. Woof. I mean, I don't blame him. Like, it'd be I don't know. I feel like it'd be a real tough call to go do Smith Chain before heading up the mountain.
Oh, for sure.
Now, here's the really interesting thing. You know, had we... Well, Myths were kind of late, so we couldn't even really... I mean, they both did kind of get those Myths pretty late, but it's not like they had much that they could do... Between getting the glove and getting the mitts, I mean, you do Thieves Town and it's an overworld, so...
You know, some people like to do the Skullwoods play and, you know, call it, you know, just more overworld. I tend not to like that because Skullwoods has 3 keys, map, compass, and a big key.
Yeah, it's... I feel like you're a lot more likely to see the early Skullwoods check if you have, like, oh, I'm going to Kakariko for the first time, and there's Dark World access. You know, let's just go ahead and dip into Skullwoods.
Yeah,
early.
Or another good one is my Dark World access is Mitts. Let's go see if we can grab a hammer out of Skullwoods before going into Thieves Town.
So we had Aga required not only for Dark World access, but also for Akena Samaria and Lumberjack. We had a completely useless Green Pendant Palace of Darkness.
Completely useless.
Completely useless. Had a fetch quest item in it that led to nothing. We had a glove in the front of Swamp. And
nothing else.
And nothing else. Lamp and Zorledge is kind of obnoxious too, though they did have flippers pretty early. What else? And then Mitts in the front of Pendant Skull.
We had no bombs and escape.
No bomb. Well, I'm pretty sure the Rat prize pack had bombs, but it was super late, and we had to burn a start. But yeah,
burn a start. Yeah, might as well have been no bombs and escape.
No bombs and escape. Leading into Mitts Independent Skull, and then leading to an Ice Red hunt on the Smith chain. It's just, this is terrible. But fortunately for them, and for all of us here, it's almost over. So maybe the next one will be better.
Yeah, and like you said, this is only game 1, so more to come between these two, no matter what happens.
I mean, at least these runners had boots pretty early, right?
Yeah, well, the game kind of made them had to have boots early because of the Aga situation. I mean, as much as you hate to see a required Aga item, it does pretty much guarantee you're going to get boots, which is a nice feeling.
Yeah, like if I see progression on Library or at Lumberjack, I'm smiling.
Yep.
I'm big smiling. I don't mind doing Aga for an item. That's no problem. Obscure
doing nice already in the last phase of try next year.
Gotta get that double spin slash, and then we're heading into Ganon's Tower, where, guess what? The game's not over yet. We still have to find a big key, which I can't.
Yeah, no bot. You guys, you can all put your numbers in.
I can't possibly imagine it'd be in Tile Room. There's no way.
No.
It's not possible that the seed would do that.
It is very possible the seed would do that. Let's hope not.
So if you're these runners, you're heading into GTN, hour 37, hour 39 for Corride, probably. You feeling good?
No.
You feeling like maybe you gotta gamble that Tile Room?
I mean, it's such a big gamble. Corride down to 2 hearts. He might still have that fairy, actually.
Walking right into him. I feel like the fatigue is setting in for these runners.
For sure. But even though he does have that fairy... Also, shout out to not having heart peeps on, so there is that.
Just turned him off entirely. That's the thing, though, is they're both going to be entering GT and not seeing a dot done yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, there's a chance, maybe. All right, what do we got? Chest number 1 going to be the compass. Chest number 2, blue rupee. We're out of here.
We're not going that way.
Now, if Corride goes for like a left-right play, like a Stalfos room to the right and finds it right side, and all of a sudden...
Yeah, big key routing could be a thing here.
Okay, nothing on the torch, which is number 3.
Yeah, we'll continue counting on Obscure side no matter what.
Yep.
4 is red rupees. 5 is a small key. 6 is 10 arrows. 7 is a small key. And he's gonna mirror out.
The right, left,
there.
right.
Interesting. Don't see that every day.
No. Then you gotta wonder, does Obscure go for the full right at this point?
That's an interesting idea.
At this point, you're just kind of like if I was playing the seed, I'd be an autopilot at this point. Like, I don't know, go back to the right. Sure, why not? But this could be big. The thing is, I'm very curious because it does seem like right side rarely has the big key these days.
Yeah.
And that's not like, I've played a lot and watched a lot of these races for the tourney, and I just don't see it showing up here that often.
Moment of truth.
Oh,
you gotta be kidding me.
Well, I'm gonna assume it's nothing because he's still going.
And he has 2 small keys, so there would be otherwise no reason to grab it. But a moment of truth on Corride's side, if he keeps going, that gives him the lead. By just a tiny bit.
Big key's never right side. Never.
Okay, I believe that's 11 we've checked on Obscure's side, so this would be the 12th one.
Yeah, this got very close all of a sudden.
Very close. Not Corride. There we go.
Yeah, I do not use the red boomerang in that room.
Oh shoot, I use Canis and Maria, so.
Well, that one's a lot easier to use.
Okay, so we're at 12, I think. And
big
not the answer.
The journey continues.
Okay, chat tell me that's 13, because I can't count. So this is 14. And it's 15.
All right.
And Obscure just barely behind. Oh, and doesn't do it in the right order. Oh no, Obscure. He does have a small key though that Corride doesn't have, so he'll be able to skip the Helma key.
At this point, I'm pretty sure both of them still have a fairy. They have a bee in a bottle. Obscure has a green potion.
I want to say Obscure has 2 green potions and Corride has 1, because it was one that Corride skipped.
Yeah, the Graveyard Ledge one. I'm not sure where the 4th one showed up.
Yeah, I want to say there was a 4th one in Turtle Rock. With half magic and a tempered sword, shouldn't really need a magic refill. But makes it's nice to have it in your back pocket.
I never would have guessed for how this seed was going that it would all come down to pretty much a game of execution.
No, not at all. And Obscure needing that, down to 2 hearts, picking up those fairies.
Yeah, I actually don't know if Obscure got the fairy out of the waterfall cave, because it was toss the bottle in for a fairy.
I want to say, the fairy that Corride had, I'm pretty certain came from a toss.
And I'm assuming going for that safety means that Obscure probably doesn't have that. Oh, almost 2, getting a little bit away from Corride here. Thankfully, with that half magic, still going to be able to get a 2-cycle. Bit of a rough gauntlet for both of these players, which I don't blame them after this. I can't imagine you got to be real tired at this point after
for sure.
Basically full clear in the game.
Fortunately, we won't have to check anything at the top because there's literally nothing we can get that actually helps. Like, sometimes there could be a bottle or a heart or something. No, there's nothing. We've got everything.
Got all the goods.
And even Corride, who didn't get that 4th bottle, knows that it's not there. So it's really just absolutely nothing. Still just a few rooms ahead here.
Does have to grab this key here. No big deal. Even taking damage, has the powder, so...
Yeah. Has enough magic to use the powder by just a little bit. Fortunately, powder is not exactly a magic hog, so...
So, was the only thing that was actually required in any of the pendant dungeons just those mitts and skullwood?
It really was. Pod, you know, that book was bait for desert. Really was needed for ether tablet, for that hammer, and then, you know, that shiny green pendant over at Pod, looking so much better than Hookless Swamp.
I'd be curious to see what the percentage of people would pick Hookless Swamp over Green Pendant Pod.
That's such a hard call to make. I mean, there are situations where maybe you do it, but not when it's a full clearable in logic green pendant pod. That's so hard to not do there.
Ooh, almost got a double there on the second cycle. Ooh, almost got a double there too. Obscure might be able to save a little bit of time in this fight, but looks like it's pretty much an Aga 2 fight difference at this point. Plenty of safeties, tempered sword, full magic, basically full health. Everything you need for a pretty straightforward Ganon fight. But let's see. Oh, gets the triple.
Nice. A little sad that this is hard mode, because I'm pretty certain for all that we've cleared that we'd have silvers and gold sword here.
Right, yeah.
Not hard mode.
You absolutely would if it wasn't for hard mode. Obscure almost got a 2-cycle, but 2 of the orbs hit him at the exact same time, so... Ooh, you don't like that. You don't, A, want Ganon facing down like that, because that's scary. B, you don't want to take 8 hearts of damage right at the beginning of this fight.
No, you really don't. I mean, I know he's got that fairy, but that's only 7 hearts.
And that's time that you don't have to spend.
Oh my god, Corride, please.
Use the B! Oh, why'd you use the B? That's a bad idea.
Does that just increase lag?
Maybe if it was a gold one. Okay, alright. Oh, and Obscure also getting the downward facing Ganon. So, gonna be slow fights from both of them. No 1-and-1. Alright, giving Obscure a little bit of time back. I feel like when you have that B, it just kind of makes the silverless spins so distracting.
Yeah, I would not want that B there.
But I appreciate the enthusiasm. Okay, last hit. We're heading into phase 4 for Corride. Obscure just a few hits and warps away. That is... Oh no. Why did he...
Oh my god.
That's potentially... He has plenty of magic.
Oh my god.
And a green potion.
I think he was afraid he was going to get knocked off if he had gone for the torch glitch there, and he might have been right.
No, Ganon would have... I think Ganon was going to land... He would have had that one tile to stand on and be fine. Okay. I think it was one of those things where he was spamming lamp, but then the minute he let go is when the torch went out. So this just got a lot closer.
Yeah, sure did. I mean, if you know what you're doing with lighting 2 torches, you can still do this fairly well. But you know, I mean, if you have to drink a potion because you've had to do twice as many fire rod shots, that's another time loss.
But the thing is, it's really hard to actually get the 3 hits.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is gonna be so close. Oh wow!
There it is for Corride.
Despite the missed torch glitch, he's still gonna finish it. Oh my god! It's so hard when they're both on phase for the same time to try and sit there and count. But geez, what a finish!
And Corride gonna finish in first place with an official race time of 1:48.42. Obscure lifetime just 4 seconds behind at 1:48.46. GG's to both our runners, and oh my god.
Jeez. Unbelievable. Oh boy. I was not expecting that close of a finish, but here we are. You just never know. You just never know. We're gonna get our runners in here real quick. Welcome to Obscure and Corride. GG's to both of you on a terrible, awful seed that I'm sure you're both glad is over.
That was fun, huh?
Yeah, that was a good one. Let's play it again.
Just the same one. Now you'll know exactly where to go. Piece of cake.
Exactly.
Yeah. This seed just had all the perfect setups to dunk on you with, like, you know, book in a desert, or green pendant pod, or of course an ice rod hunt, or even just like, oh nope, you still need ether. Just all these things stacking on. I could sense maybe a little bit of fatigue going into GT for the both of you. I'm sure you were both kind of like, I have no idea where I'm at right now in this race, and I just want it to be over.
Oh, for sure, it was definitely one of those ones you won't forget. I mean, we all watched the reveal stream where we had all the memes like Hammer in Swamp. I mean, this seed had it all as well, so
it sure did. But yeah, I mean, both of you full clearing pendant pod with a green pendant for nothing. I think you got a shovel out of there, which was even more nothing. The early book, which so often leads to something in desert. Nope. That book was for the hammer on ether tablet. Then the double required Aga for both the Red Cane and for Dark World Axis. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those myths were really brutal, I found, I mean, because at this point, like, all the skips regarding desert or escape were practically meaningless, because you had to anyway full clear all the locations again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and for you, Corride, it was a little unfortunate routing in Skull Woods.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I was a bit headless. Yeah, like, I mean, that didn't make any sense. The back to front clear, but yeah.
I mean, you wanted to check ped, which makes sense.
Well,
ped was in logic. Once you get gloves, ped was in logic. So definitely could have been a thing, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I think by the end of this, aside from that heart container and the vanilla big key chest in Skull, I don't think you had anything left obscure in the game.
Yeah, pretty much. I full cleared everything. Like, trying to find those titans, I pretty much cleared everything out.
Yep.
Well, yeah. And then I was like, I actually got baited. I was headed to King's Tomb Graveyard, and I was like, hold on, titans can actually be on ped. And I was like, if that's on ped, I'd rather do desert first and then mirror over from Skull Woods. Mm-hmm. Which is why I done that weird routing.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, this is kind of one of those seeds where it's really easy to just kind of start autopiloting, just like, please just give me the mitts at some point, please. Because they open up so much. And, kudos to both you guys for finishing this one, because this was one you'd want to just throw in a dumpster as soon as you could.
Pretty much.
I mean, imagine being the mitts, or like being them on left side swamp.
Yeah.
You find your first glove. Like, you do like everything we did, and then you come back half an hour later.
That was a pretty gutsy play to skip 3 items in Swamp Palace. But
yeah, I think that's the only thing you had left at that point.
Yeah.
And then with Aga having already been killed and nothing left in the light world, no mirror portal saves for this seed.
Yeah, I was trying to set that up. I was like, I'm going to check hammer pegs first. And I was like, wait, Aga's been done. It is what it is. I mean, but at the end of the day, when it's 4 seconds apart, these are the kind of seeds that you kind of want. You don't want big differences. You want them to both be on Ganon together, and you're like anyone's game. So right up until the end. So even though I lost by a few seconds, and yes, it's hard to swallow when you're that close and you lose by a few seconds. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's all for fun, and we're here to put on a show, and I think we did at the end of the day.
No, you definitely put on a show for sure. The seed put on a show, to be fair. But you played it. We played it as best as you all could, I think.
The Miss Torch glitch put on a show too.
And scary. The bee.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, but it basically is the bee to blame that I actually won, or I did not lose,
Yeah, what exactly happened on the missed torch glitch?
I don't know actually. I thought, but I think it's actually not possible that he could stand like on the lowest row of tiles. So.
No, not in that setup. He would be like basically kitty corner to the torch and leave a row of tiles on the bottom or left side there, I think. So you would have been perfectly fine standing right there, but
it's very easy
at the same time. Yeah, you don't want to get You don't want to get knocked down and
Nope.
have to go back up it. All
I mean,
the
he
way
could
around.
have also warped somewhere else, but no, of course.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe a couple of frames later the torch went out, anyways. But yeah.
That's the scary thing, which is sometimes it might be worth like, being able to swap back to like going for a fire rod torch glitch just so you have that distance. But heat of the moment, it's tough to make that prediction, and fortunately, it didn't cost you the game. So. Yeah, what a wild finish. GG's to both you guys. This was, of course, only game one. You guys still have another one and potentially a third one.
Or a fourth one if you tie next time.
Yeah.
When is your all's game two?
Not scheduled yet. Sometime on the weekend, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, we'll be looking out for that because if it's anything like game one, it's definitely going to be a fun watch.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, this was a lot of fun. GG's.
Yeah. GG's.
And thanks both for doing comms and whoever was tracking. Sorry I didn't catch who it was. And whoever's doing the restream. And for hosting this race.
Yep. I should shout out that tracker. It was Daruk doing the hard work behind the scenes, clicking those buttons. Our MVPs. They do the hard work so that we can just talk. It's great. Anything else either one of you want to add before we start closing this out?
Not really. Let's just have a friendlier seed next time, please.
Having a friendlier seed at all in the tourney, maybe, please?
Yeah.
How about... Can I offer you some bombs in escape? How about that?
Oh.
Yeah, that would be or at least a weapon that you can actually farm at bombs. Because we're pretty certain there was a bomb prize pack. But with Berna, it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, there was no way that was happening.
No.
Alrighty, Tracy. Well, another good sesh. Another good
Absolutely.
sesh.
Absolutely.
You got that schedule up? You taking a look?
I do have the schedule. We got some good matches coming up at 6 o'clock. Right here on Speed Gaming, we have Gamachu versus Rywek. That is a game one. At 6:40 over on Speed Gaming 2, we have P-Train versus Jay Meisher. That is a game 3. Then at 8:10, also on Speed Gaming, we have game 2 of Gamachu versus Rywek. And at 9:10, we have over on Speed Gaming 3, GFE versus Boyne. That's it's round of 32, game 1. So lots more coming up. Tomorrow, the schedule starts at noon with Lin versus Magnet Hands, game 2. So, ton of Link to the Past on the schedule. If you're missing it, you're missing it, you're not trying to watch. So definitely, we'll see you all in those other races. Yeah, I think that'll do it for us. Again, thank you to Daruk for tracking. Willard, again, always a pleasure. I know it was a little last minute for you, so definitely glad you hopped in with me.
No worries.
And thank you to our runners. If you're not already following them, you should do so. Looks like somebody put the commentator command in here, but let's put the runner command in here so you can follow the runners. They're the true stars of our little show here. But yeah, that'll do it for us. And we'll see you all at 6:10 for the next one.
Take it easy.